HSN, I'm Shannon, and I've been here for 25 years, and I can tell you for a fact, out of all the things that we offer here at HSN, I get most passionate about the items that are gonna make a real personal impact in your daily life. Now, whether you're someone who struggles with the emotional loss of hair or the expense of losing hair, there are a lot of different things to grow hair, and I need to be very specific about this. This is an FDA-cleared medical device, clinical results to grow hair. In fact, I know it's the Christmas season. You see other people who try to copycat. This is not like the Christmas lights. This is laser, and that's just it. We have to be very specific about that. This is also engineered to be faster in its efficacy than even previous versions. So FDA clearance, it's safe, it's effective. There are no side effects. This is growing hair. It is growing hair in only 6 minutes a day. And the big thing, because there are a lot of different ways to grow hair, you have to be compliant. And some of them, whether it's a pill or a potion or something you put on your head, you know, sometimes we're always waiting for the shoe to drop. If you can put on a cap, we're gonna help you grow hair. If you can put on a cap, we're gonna help you grow hair. More lasers than ever before. And by the way, this is also an exclusive and limited time offering, if you will, where not only do you get the cap, you get this great custom designed bag, if you will, and then you are also getting $400 off your purchase, $400 off your purchase. And in fact, if you go to hsn.com, and I'm just gonna see, do we have the little, oh, there it is, the activators on the other side, sorry. But there is the cap itself for, well, $15.49. Oh, $19.99, sorry. So the original price is $2,000, $2,000. And you can see it with that if purchased separately. And then we are also including that activator, which is like another $61. So if you choose to go on what is called our auto ship option, now remember it's a lifetime product. You own the cap, that FDA cleared medical device, but hey, you need everything to make your garden grow. This really prepares your scalp in that environment for really the best or optimum results. Best price anywhere, really best price that we've ever done. Today's special price, for, you know, lack of a better term. Barry's back, and Barry, I know for decades, you saw the good, the bad, the ugly, the tears, men and women, by the way, who were willing to pay almost any price to have that professional medical laser treatment in a clinical practice. And now,
that's right,
Capillus is giving you that clinical laser at home with a 180-day return policy. On a price like this, bravo, right?
Oh, it's awesome. And as you said, with a real professional medical device. You know, folks may have seen things in the past that had 8 lasers or 40 lasers. Think about this. This has 202 lasers. In other words, if you go to your doctor or your dermatologist and he or she wants you to use a laser therapy treatment at home, which of course is growing almost by the day, they will give you professional grade, 202 lasers. That's what this is. That's a big, powerful punch for, as you said, Shannon, an FDA cleared real medical device. Now, to your point about the tears and the angst, here's the drag, really. We live in a world right now where there is so much stress, so much unknown, and ironically, so much emphasis on our appearance with the Zoom calls and everything that's going on. And you may find it interesting, I don't know if you know this, Shannon, but stress actually can power up androgenic alopecia, which means genetic hair loss, which this is FDA cleared for. So I have no doubt that there are people at home that are experiencing this. And whether they know it or not, they're looking in the mirror. And if you can think of what you looked like, let's say February, and you look in the mirror now and you're like, oh my gosh, my hair is thinning. There's nothing I can do about it. Here's the great news. There actually is. If you hear me say anything else during this entire time, hear this. Medical technology has advanced to the point where we can do something about your hair loss by simply getting you an FDA-cleared real medical device that you pop on your head for 6 minutes a day. And Shannon, look at these before and afters because they tell the story. That's Daniel, okay? And check this out, what happened to him in 6 months. Look what he looked like in his before. Look what happened 6 months later. And by the way, I'm going to walk you through all of this so it makes sense and I can actually tell you medically what's happening. Let's look at Yvonne. That's another before and after we have. Yvonne started with a typical female problem. The part gets wider. She starts receding. The crown gets thinner. Look what happened to Yvonne 12 months later, and by the way, she's only halfway home. Look how the sides are richer and thicker. Look how the bangs have filled in. Look how the back, but also just notice the general overall health of the hair. The last one is Lester at 3 months. And here's the great thing. You know, as you mentioned, I've sat with thousands of men and women in my career, specifically talking to them about hair loss and their medical options. So someone like Lester would come in and all he wanted to do was stop the loss, freeze time. I was able to tell Lester that we can not only stop the loss, we can actually help to regrow your hair. How? Exactly by what you're seeing right now. Basically, what's happening is with genetic androgenic alopecia, the primary reason for hair loss, that follicle gets smaller and smaller and smaller until it eventually dies. That's what in the medical community we call miniaturization. Once that follicle is dead and gone, that's permanent baldness. Nothing you can do to ever bring it back, ever, 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 ever. You can spend 5 figures on surgery to transplant, which is great. I think we'll hear from Martino a little later who did something like that. That's a great thing to do. But the great news is, in the last 10, 15 years, medical technology has advanced to the point where we can catch that follicle before it dies, bring a very healthy grade of light to it, actually stimulate the cells in that follicle. This is a real medical process with an FDA-cleared professional-grade device. And as you saw in that animation, that follicle actually gets bigger, meaning the hair gets bigger, which is why in the before and afters, it looks like people are growing hair, but what's really happening, Shannon, is we're taking thin, baby, fine, unhealthy hair and bringing it back to life. That's exciting technical stuff.
It is indeed. It's American grown, American proud. The way these are assembled, their quality control is second to none, and there is no other product in the world that does this at this price. So a couple of things you need to understand. You get a 2-year manufacturer's warranty. You get a 180-day return policy. 180-day return policy. This is basically, so that makes it until the end of April. I actually had my producer, Steve, kind of do the math for me because listen, I'm just trying to get through each day, but we're almost through the end of this year. But then you also get flex pay. Now, remember, you choose it in the single or the auto ship. Now, on the auto ship, remember, the cap is a lifetime achievement, if you will. So it's like you own that medical, well, you own that FDA-cleared medical device. You would get additional shipments of what I call Help Your Garden Grow, that beautiful Activator, and that is also at a special purchase price. Now, because this is $400 off, we only have a couple hundred available in either the single or the auto ship. So just be aware, only a couple hundred in terms of availability in either your single or your auto ship. And then one other thing, in addition to the Activator and the bag and this custom molded bag and design, it is all about compliance. And actually, I did a post yesterday. I know I've been on the air here for over 20 years at HSN, and a lot of it is, you wear tight rollers, you pull your hair back in a ponytail. Girls and ladies out there, I'm talking to you. It's one thing for men to suffer from hair loss, but I think people are more aware of it for men. But when it comes to women, they say our hair is our crowning glory, and you look at gorgeous Sonia over there. I mean, you think of some of the most beautiful women in the world, and yeah, like the Julias of the world, and go down the list. I mean, they're known for their smile, but let's be honest, it's their hair. And I was seeing a pronounced hair loss, like right around my temple area and my hairline. Certainly, I'm getting older. I'm closer to 60 than I am 50. But from years of pulling, tucking, tweezing, for me, you've probably noticed that my bangs are a lot fuller now. These are my bangs. This is my hair. So I use this. I know there are other show hosts who use this. Adam, we've got a testimonial from him, so I'll share his name, but there are other women, female hosts who are using this. They haven't given me permission to say their names, so I won't reveal it, but I'll just tell tales on myself. I can tell you for a fact, I am seeing more hair, and that's what it's all about. I am seeing more hair. And unlike the other things that I had tried, because Barry will tell you, you have to be compliant. Whether it's a pill or a potion, I was putting some things in my scalp that some days I did it, some days I didn't. Then my hair would, or my scalp would get dry. It made my scalp, you know, kind of uncomfortable. You put on a cap. You put on a cap. You know how they say hat hair? This is the hat hair you want because it's helping you grow hair. So if you can put on a cap, you're growing, it's helping you to grow that hair, and that's your hair. You can dye it, cut it, tweeze it, whatever you want to do with it, it's your hair. Someone else that you're gonna recognize here at HSN though is someone who is known for hair, and that is Martino. Now, interestingly enough, when you listen to Martino's testimonial, Martino actually had the professional, you know, surgical where they put hair in his head, but you gotta maintain that too. Well, rather than me put words in Martino's mouth, I'd love for you to hear what he has to say.
My name is Martino Cardi, celebrity stylist. When I turned 40 years old, I noticed my hairline was really starting to thin and I was starting to panic. So I found a hair restoration surgeon, world-renowned guy, right here in Florida. So I went to him and I had the transplant. I spent a lot of money and he told me, you really should protect your investment. And by doing that, I want you to get this Capillus laser cap. And what it's gonna do, it's gonna stop the hair from falling out that you already had with the surgery. Plus, it's gonna help other hair come in thicker and more fuller, like when you were younger. Being a celebrity stylist, I have access to the best of the best. So if I choose Capillus, you should too. FDA approved, clinical results, you're gonna love your hair.
My name is Dr. Adrienne Daness. I'm a medical doctor. I also have a PhD. 2 years ago, I began to see a profound change in the quality of my hair. I have started to use Capillus and I find it effective. It is very important for me that Capillus is FDA cleared. You put it on your head, you turn it on, one button, and you're done.
Well, and I know you recognize Dr. Daness. We are part of the QVC family, so of course you know and recognize her. But I love both of those testimonials so much, especially because Dr. Daness is a doctor and expert in her field, of course, but she's a woman who suffered from hair loss. And I can tell you for a fact, and girls, we all have our own crusade to bear. You know, they always say if you have your health, you have everything. But I think there are a lot of women who are kind of shaking their head and saying, if you've got your hair, in part you've got everything. I'm certainly not being disparaging. I mean, again, I know we all have our challenges in life, but when it comes to our hair, I think there's a reason that people say, oh, it's a bad hair day. Or that, especially with women, that we say her hair is her crowning glory. And I know what a confidence booster this has been for me. I know what a confidence booster it's been for Adam. I know what a confidence booster that it's been for other female show hosts on the air. And Barry, listen, I'll just tell tales on myself. I can't name those names, but trust me, there are other women like me that you have seen on the air who now have more hair thanks to this FDA cleared device. Barry, I'd love for you to talk to a little bit about, you know, who it's for, the schedule, and what to expect with this as far as treatments.
Exactly, and you're right. There are a lot of show hosts and even models there who actually use this. And when you think about it, that's saying a lot because you guys see everything and get to try everything, and people are having amazing results, which is terrific. But let's talk about what you can expect because, you know, there's something in the medical industry called realistic expectations, whether you're getting a facelift or you're getting heart surgery or you're growing hair with a real medical device. So it's very important to talk about complete transparency of what you can expect because we want you to be real. But let me just say this first. If you're shiny bald, this is not for you because we're treating follicles. So there has to be a follicle there, meaning if your hair is fine, thin, you've seen it thin, and there's hair present, but it's just, you can see your scalp, kind of like we saw in Daniel's before and after. This is perfect for you because you can actually stop that loss and fill it in. So what can you expect? From 0 to 3 months, you're you're not going to see much change actually, because basically the loss is stopping. There's a slight chance there can be a little bit of shedding because a follicle may say, wait, I could do way better than this, and spit out an unhealthy hair and start to grow real healthy hair. From 3 to 6 months, that's when the new hair growth can start. But always remember, we're talking about growing real hair, your hair that you can cut, color, perm. You don't have to be gentle to it at all. So it's just starting to grow. Again, this is not a cosmetic. This is a real medical treatment that's going to regrow your hair. So right at about that 5 to 6 month area, I always say, you probably won't notice because you're obsessing looking in the mirror. I've sat with thousands of you. I know how this works. But people around you are going to say, and this is where it gets so exciting. So think about this. You can keep this till about May. So you're getting ready for the summer. You might be trying to get your bikini body or whatever it is. And now people are saying, you know what, your hair looks really good. What are you doing different? Because it's that 5 to 6 month period that it's going to start to grow. From 6 months to 12 months, it's really going to start to fill in. But the great news is you're not going to see the most dramatic results until about 2 years. Again, I'm giving you realistic expectation. Why am I saying that? Because remember, this medical device, FDA cleared with 202 lasers, is growing real hair. So you know how long it takes your hair to grow. How much hair are you going to grow in 3 months? Not much, probably to the human eye. And we're taking unhealthy hair, fine wispy hair, and making it fully healthy and strong again. Guys, if we can show Daniel the before and after, just so I can help it make a little more sense, because remember how I talked about a fine, unhealthy follicle with a tiny little hair that's going to grow back to its healthy state. So Shannon, I love to use Daniel because this is perfect. So someone like Daniel would come into my office. You can see his scalp. He'd say, Barry, I can see my scalp. I'm freaking out. I don't want to be a bald guy. What can I do? And I would say, genuinely, Daniel, medical technology has advanced to the point where we actually can do something now. We can actually do a treatment for 6 minutes a day at your home, and Shannon, look at 6 months later. It looks like Daniel has regrown hair, new hair, but what's really happening is his little tiny fine weak follicles are getting healthier, so now his hair is getting healthier. Shannon, that's exciting medical stuff.
It is indeed. And I will say this now from personal experience, and Barry's right, it's kind of like that adage with working out, you gotta move it or you lose it. Well, you gotta use it or you'll lose it. That's the truth with hair, because there are other ways to regrow hair. Some of them involve some, pretty potential side effects, especially for the men out there, but compliance. And listen, I wear a cap. I wear a hat, whether I'm here at HSN or not. So if you can put on a cap and grow hair, do it. Here's the other thing about this, because you own the device, there's a 2-year warranty, there's a $180-day return policy on this, so that puts you about April. You get 5-pay flex pay, so a little over $300 on your credit card. But the thing is, you will comply. Now you can take it out of the ball cap, you can put it in your own favorite cap. Certainly we just got through that World Series, but if there's a certain sports team or whatever that you like, you could do that, or just wear it without the cap. It's entirely up to you, and you can just wipe it off in the interior and what have you. But the whole point is you will wear it, and if you wear it, you grow hair. I'm speaking from my own experience, because I was having, and Barry, because you're the expert. The first time I met Barry, I was wearing this really tight roller, because girls, right, we all do it. You put the real tight ponytail in. We should probably talk about who it is for and some of the things that we see and expect from women and men, right?
Right. And you bring up an interesting point. A lot of times people would come into my office and say, I have alopecia, I'm suffering from alopecia. Well, understand that alopecia is simply the medical term for hair loss. There are all different types of alopecia. What you're seeing here is classic androgenic alopecia, androhuman-genic inherited alopecia. Ladies, you know it. You saw mom go through it. You saw grandma go through it. You're going through it now. Your part is getting wider and wider and wider. You're receding, your temples, your crown is getting thinner. But again, please hear me say it's a passion of mine, just like Shannon said, it's a passion of hers. We're not talking about a gimmick. We're not talking about a cosmetic. You can do something about that. You can fill that back in like you saw in these before and afters. Gentlemen, this is called the Norwood Hamilton classification. I don't need to tell you what happens during hair loss. We see it all the time when we walk down the streets. Think about this. This is FDA cleared for this. So remember, what does FDA cleared mean? I always explain this to the men and women I meet because it's gigantic. We're hearing so much about that now through all the press conferences, and you've heard me talk about it for years here on HSN, but let me remind you, to get an FDA clearance, you have to prove to the FDA through human clinical trials, number one, efficacy or effectiveness, meaning this technology will do what it says it will do. But even efficacy is not enough. You have to then go on to prove safety, that this will safely do what it says it will do. So track with me here, because I know this is an investment, but is it worth taking the chance? I love that we know what an FDA clearance means now because we're hearing so much about it. Think about this. The FDA says this technology of 202 lasers, professional grade, is effective. I'm just trying to wrap your head around that. The FDA says that it is safe to the point where, as Shannon mentioned, that the FDA allows us to say there are 0 known side effects. So don't let the laser part scare you, because lasers come in all different kinds of form. These are lasers used in many different medical applications. So FDA cleared, professional grade. Now, Shannon, real quick, because I want to answer your question. I don't want to blow it off. I don't know how else to say it. We were talking about alopecias, and you're talking about your curler. Right. So there are types of alopecias, okay? That's called traction alopecia, where if you put your curlers in too tight, ladies, or you get weaves that are too tight, you yank on that hair enough, eventually the follicle says, I'm over it, I'm going to give up, and that's gone. But see, that's the great thing about this. Whether you're talking about it for androgenic alopecia, which this is FDA cleared for, you can use this to address. We know from experience that people who have weak, thinning hair can use this medical technology to simply make that hair better, like we saw in the before and afters. And I'll say this one thing, Shannon, because I know we're talking about gifts, and you know people who have bought cars for people and like the wild extravagant gifts. I just want to give you 2 statistics because, again, remember, I've sat with you. People around here don't like it when I say this because I sound like a wuss, but I've literally cried with you. I know what it's like to be afraid to go out of the house, to listen to this, not want to go to that Thanksgiving dinner or that Christmas party because you're so embarrassed about your hair loss. I get the angst. This has changed your life for the worst. But what if you could change your life for the better with this investment? Listen to these statistics because they're true, especially ladies if you're thinking of buying that amazing gift for that other someone in your life, as they talked about before. According to the International Society of Hair Restoration Surgery, the great organization of hair doctors, 67% of people would rather have more hair than more money or more friends. We're talking about people suffering from hair loss. But check this one out. 47% of people, almost half, would spend their life savings if they thought they could get back a head of hair. So look, I get the price tag, I do, even though this is like an amazing deal, trust me it is. I get that it's an investment, that it's slightly scary, but that's why it's so terrific what HSN is doing in giving you 6 months to try it completely risk-free. You have until April or May to have free laser treatments at home, basically. And if you don't look like those before and afters, you send it back. Gentlemen, ladies, This is your opportunity to have a profound change in your life, in your future, in your tomorrow. And I love it, Shannon, that you and HSN are giving them those 6 months, because I get, as you can tell, I get emotional about it myself as a hair loss sufferer, because see, I'll never grow hair here where I'm permanently bald. It's long gone. But I have been able to save so much hair because of the technology available today. And now HSN is making it available to folks risk-free for 6 months. Genuinely, I'm not trying to be a sales guy here. That makes me excited. It really does.
It's a life changer for sure. Now, I know you saw that skin classification on the side of your screen. I know there's a lot of information to get through in a very, very short amount of time. But remember, you've got that, well, normally I just say extended holiday return policy, 180-day return policy on this. 2-year warranty, the Activator, lowest price, really a today's special price. I mean, you know, outside of a today's special, best value that we've certainly found anywhere. And you own that FDA-cleared technology, to help you grow that hair, and it is your hair. Now remember, you choose it in the single or the auto ship. The cap is a lifetime. I mean, and men or women, you could make the excuse, girls, that you're buying it for the guy in your life, and you could use it too. That's the real advantage here, because you own that FDA-cleared medical technology to help you, to help your hubby, to help everybody, frankly, in the family, grow your own hair. And because it's just a cap, you will be compliant. And Barry, I know you only brought in a couple hundred in the single or the auto ship. I'm not even sure. Barry, if you're still with us, do you have any other airings through the weekend? Or just 1 or 2?
No. I'm sorry. I think we do on Sunday, but here's the problem. Actually, Shannon, you know, the last time I was with you, I think we had an hour show and we sold out 45 minutes in, remember? And we're scurrying because we had nothing left to sell. So, and I don't even know if it was this good of a price, but the great thing is that we only do have like a few hundred for the